I fail miserably and it's gonna look like a potato sack on me. I kind of have love-hate relationship with cotton. The price point does matter with linens. As soon as you touch it, you're like, ooh, this is gonna be exfoliating. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Lydia and I make videos about sewing, fashion and design, helping sewers such as myself to take their skills to the next level. So let's chat about what are the best fabric types and fiber content for our summer projects. When choosing fabric online or in store, I typically look for three qualities that are very important to me. Quality number one, the color and the print. It has to be on trend or match with a trend that's gonna come up in a season or two. I don't want it to look old or outdated. Quality number two is the ease of care. No matter how much I like the fabric, I have to be very honest with myself and make sure that this is not some kind of high maintenance fabric. I cannot be bothered hand washing something or dry cleaning it or laying it flat to dry. All the items that I make or buy have to be able to go into the washer and dryer. Even if it's on a gentlest cycle, that's fine, but they have to be washable and dryable in the machine. And quality number three is the feel to the skin. It's super important to me. If it feels scratchy or in any way unpleasant, like sometimes it has this very unpleasant dry feel, like some crepes are, crepe de chine or sandy kind of fabrics. So the first type of fabric I have here is Rayon Challis, and honestly you guys, cutting to the chase, Rayon as a fiber and as a fabric type is one of my most favorite fabrics to work with and wear in summer. This particular piece is 100% rayon. It might sound a little bit confusing to a beginner sewist, but Rayon Challis doesn't have to be necessarily rayon. It actually may not even have rayon in it at all. It might have like a viscose. Rayon and viscose are very similar fibers, so they often use interchangeably. When you shop for one, you might as well shop for the other. The qualities of rayon are that it's a super drapable type of fabric, very lightweight, breathable, densely woven. It's great because it typically is pretty opaque, even with the light colors like this, so you don't have to worry about making a liner for your item, for your garment. Very soft, absorbent. Usually it has a little bit of a natural stretch across the weft, but I wouldn't say it's like stretchy. The cons. Rayon definitely has some cons. The biggest one is that it is shrinkable. It's man-made fiber, but it does act like a natural fiber, so it does shrink. You definitely want to pre-wash it. Another big con of rayon, it really doesn't heat and water, so anytime you have to wash it, it's one of those high maintenance items. You have to wash on a most delicate cycle. You have ideally air dry it, so no heat, just kind of like a fluffy air. So pretty much rayon does not like rough handling. If you wash it, you have to pick the cycle that has like very little of movement and just treat it as gently as possible. What types of applications that would be the best for? Anything that requires a drapey fabric, so definitely nothing structured. The cottagecore dresses that I discussed in my previous video would be perfect. Anything that flows and needs to go around your body in a nice drapey way. Maybe if you have a pattern and it asks for fabric like charmeuse or chiffon, you can also pick up rayon for it as well. Another difficult thing about rayon is actually really hard to find in trendy colors, so I have the best luck finding cool looking fabrics on Etsy. They tend to be a little bit pricey and you usually have to pay for shipping, but they are there and they are very beautiful. So this is kind of like one that I'm very excited about. I'm gonna make a dress with it and I want to see how it handles. If it handles well, if it's not too wrinkly and finicky kind of fabric, I will be ordering more, but absolutely gorgeous. This is my favorite fabric in all of these so far. Highly recommend. So the next fabric I have here is also rayon, but the descriptions are a little bit wonky. This textile is called Gauze, and that is super confusing because as a fabric type, When I think of gauze, I think of cotton gauze. This like airy, fluffy moodfabrics.com actually has the most gorgeous collection this summer for double cotton gauze with super beautiful candy color. 100% cotton, looks really soft as well, has great reviews. So when this fabric had gauze in the description, I would skip right through it. But if you look at the fiber content, this has rayon, but this time we have rayon blend, and surprisingly the second fiber is nylon. Usually rayon is paired with polyester, and to me that's like a perfect marriage of two. Anytime you see rayon in a textile, it doesn't matter if it's a woven textile like a dress fabric or if it's a jersey, rayon means drape. So if, let's say, the fabric type says something that usually doesn't indicate drape, like gauze, but you see rayon in it, and that would indicate to me that this is a drapey fabric and probably will work for my application. So if you have to choose between 100% rayon and rayon blend, always go for the blend. It does have like this crinkly texture, but yet it's super soft, just like rayon is. I'm planning to make Una dress with it. This is gonna be even more perfect application for any flowy pants, flowing skirts, blouses, peasant blouses. Again, anything that requires drape, nothing structured, obviously no blazers. So the next piece I have is 100% polyester. If you search for best fabrics for summer sewing projects for apparel, you pretty much will find everyone recommending you natural fibers like cotton, linen, rayon, and polyester is kind of like made a villain or something. I wanted to kind of like break that stigma. I think polyester is wonderful fiber. Polyester can be woven into any fabric type what determines how polyester acts, because it can also be breathable, absorbent. It can have all those qualities if it's woven into, you know, in a type of fabric that has those qualities. So this is kind of like one of the examples. It doesn't have any specific name to it, just silky print. It's very opaque, so no liner, and because it is 100% poly, it's gonna be so perfect again for any summer application. I don't know about you guys, I am so bothered by wrinkles on clothing, so if I'm making something out of rayon, I know it's gonna wrinkle, it's gonna bother me very much. This fabric will not do it. It's gonna be so much more durable, and I have a tutorial that I'm gonna do with this fabric, and I'm really excited about it, so stay tuned for that. So the next two pieces I have here are cotton. This piece right here is a cotton voile, and this piece is a cotton lawn. Cotton voile and cotton lawn probably the thinnest types of cotton fabrics you can find for your applications, like 100% cotton that you can find for your applications. They're usually made with cotton fiber that are more lustrous and more silky-like, so they make a very beautiful apparel pieces. They tend to be a little bit more expensive than, say, quilting cotton or cotton batiste. Those are cheaper and they are stiffer, so when you are making a blouse, a top, or a dress that you want to have just a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of structure, not so much fluid like the rayon that we just looked at, so it holds its shape. Like if you are making cool puffy sleeves and any kind of like applications that has a little bit of a body to it, you want that structure. And cotton voile and cotton lawn are two perfect thin cottons that have enough structure but at the same time also pliable enough to be making into dresses and tops. Bottoms, I'm not sure, to be honest. If it has polyester in them, I would make pants or shorts, but again, because cotton is highly wrinkly fabric, I would not make any kind of pants unless it has polyester in it to compensate for the wrinklage. And also something to keep in mind, if you do want this cotton fabric to be super thin, that's great, but it is going to be a little bit translucent if it's this kind of light color. If you want it to be more opaque, you need to look for something like cotton poplin and cotton sateen. Those have a lot more opacity. I kind of have love-hate relationship with cotton. I understand why people love it, but if you do love cotton, you must be okay with being a little bit wrinkled like all the time. They are beautiful, they are soft, they're really nice to the touch, the colors are gorgeous. This is cotton batiste and I did purchase it in the quilting section. As I'm telling you not to buy quilting cotton for your apparel, here I am. I did purchase it there, but I touched it and it was pretty soft, and I'm gonna pre-wash it, and I think it's gonna soften up even more. And what I'm planning to make with this is this frog style dress. So I think for that kind of dress, this fabric will work, but this is going to be a little bit of experiment. I might fail miserably and it's going to like look crazy like a potato sack on me because it's so stiff. But if it gets a little bit softer with wash, and hopefully as I'm making the garment, I'll steam the seams very well, so they kind of like more pliable and less stiff. So yeah, we'll see. I hope it's gonna work. I love the print, but here I am. This is quilting cotton technically, but it is very cool print. I love it, so I think it's gonna be beautiful. I think it's gonna work okay. So this little pile I have right here are all different variations of linen. I will be completely honest with you guys, I am a stranger when it comes to linens. All I know that is super wrinkly, very unpredictable after the wash. I know it's supposed to be comfortable and breathable, and for some reason the linen is considered like a star fiber when it comes to summer clothing. I see lots of gorgeous photos on Instagram and Pinterest, girls wearing like two-piece suits or maybe more like a casual linen blouses and bottoms, skirts, shorts, even like crop tops and vests. Lots and lots of cool ideas when it comes to linen, and it looks gorgeous in photos, but looking at the fabric and kind of like already handling it a little bit, touching it, feeling it, scrunching it, I'm not too impressed. I'm gonna give myself a chance to work with it. I'm gonna give myself a chance to fall in love with linen like everybody else and see if it sticks. And if not, the worst thing, I'm gonna learn something new and have a few cool photos for my Instagram to promote my channel or something. And if not, I might actually end up with something I really love, so we shall see. But first thing I want to mention quickly about linen type of fabric is that it doesn't have to be necessarily made out of linen fiber. So we do have obviously linen fiber, we also have Ramie and flax. Those are all considered linen type of fibers. I don't think there's really much difference apart from like a little bit of a texture difference or thickness, but again, I think it more depends on the manufacturer and that particular textile. I also do know that you kind of have to let linen do what linen wants to do and not fuss over the wrinkles. It might change the shape a little bit after you wash it and dry it, and you kind of just have to let it go. If you have a choice, definitely go for linen blends. Linen cotton blend or linen poly probably would be ideal, so it takes away some of that wrinklage. This piece right here is 100% linen. I got it at fabric.com, and I didn't get like the most expensive one. I just kind of wanted to stick with the budget linens just to see how I like them. But I do know if you do love linen, try to get the most you can afford, because the price point, as I know, does matter with linens. The higher they are, the better, the softer that linen fabric will be and nicer to the body, to the touch. But look at this gorgeous color, this like bright peachy orangey. Absolutely love it. Feels okay to the touch. It's not maybe it's a bit scratchy, a bit rough, but nothing too terrible. Pretty opaque, wrinkly wrinkly as hell. You scrunch it for like half a second and it's all wrinkly, but again, you're supposed to let it go and not scrunch it obviously on purpose, but let a few wrinkles appear here and there and not be too obsessive about it. I'm thinking shorts and just like a blouse, like a button down. Maybe I'll do some cool sleeve, maybe something like with open back. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So that's linen number one. This little guy here is actually Ramie linen, so it's not linen fiber, it's Ramie fiber. It is more rough, not as smooth. I feel a little bit of a scratch when I put it to my body, so we'll see. But again, super gorgeous color. As far as like other qualities, I can't tell that it wrinkles less. When you do get linen and it tends to be like rougher on the surface, maybe a little bit even stiff, you can treat it and it softens it up, and there are all sorts of like tricks and different substances you can kind of submerge it into, and that turns the fiber a little bit softer. I got it in the shop on Etsy. They have a lot of great options. As soon as you touch it, you're like, ooh, this is gonna be exfoliating. So we shall see, we shall see. Looks really beautiful though. The color itself pretty gorgeous, so hopefully something good will turn out of that. And next piece, this nice beautiful blue color linen, is probably my favorite of the bunch because it is a linen blend. What's the other fiber? I have no idea. Joanne did not specify what is the other fiber, it just says linen blend. I'm suspecting it's polyester. Regardless, I love this one so much because it almost doesn't wrinkle. Like, you can scrunch it, let it go, and the fabric is actually like smooth as right out, like you never even scrunched it. Pretty awesome, I love it. It has very distinctive linen look to it, so that's really cool. The only questionable thing I have about it is that it's not very lightweight, like a fabric for a suit, and not so much like a light dress or light blouse. Definitely looks like something a little bit heavier. I actually purchased it last year and I was planning to make a dress with it, and I didn't because how kind of heavy it felt. It did not feel like a dress fabric, it felt more like a suit fabric. So yeah, we'll make a suit out of it, that's fine, but I'm gonna see how that turns out. And this last one is also linen, obviously, but this time we have a blend of linen and rayon, which is awesome because I love my rayon. Look how drapable this is. It's completely different from the rest of the bunch of them. It does have a little bit different weave too, very smooth too. Absolutely love it. Because how heavy it is, I'm not sure what the application of it would be, and by heavy I mean like a drapes kind of heavy. Like, the fabric itself is pretty thin, but it has this like weight to it when it drapes. Different type of heavy, like that blue one that is more suit heavy. Rayon is actually, it has a bit of weight to it. The fabric can be incredibly thin, but the drape is like just follows that gravity. Have to think of some cool projects, something everyday like pants or simple button down, we'll see. But out of the bunch, this one is the smoothest. Doesn't feel rough to the touch, feels really cool and smooth and nice. We'll include this shop in descriptions, of course. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button so other viewers such as yourself see my content, and obviously consider sticking around and subscribing. If you have any input on the fabrics I mentioned today, let me know if you're interested to see more of a tutorial types of videos, or maybe something like a sew and tell, just talking about the project once it's complete and show exactly how it looks in the end. So let me know. I would love to kind of any suggestions and ideas. I have lots of ideas, more ideas than time, but it would be helpful to see what kinds of videos my viewers enjoy. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye.